Well, good morning to you all. My name is Rudy Harper. I'm the second Deputy Chief for Detroit Police. Thank you to the media for being here today, and a special welcome to those watching right now on Facebook Live. On behalf of the Honorable Mayor Mike Duggan and Detroit Police Chief James E. White, I would like to welcome you to Detroit Public Safety Headquarters for a major announcement. We are excited today to announce the launch of Detroit Rewards TV. The reason we are doing this is to empower Detroiters to speak up and take back their neighborhoods. We're excited to announce this launch on this day. It's been a long time coming, but we think a lot of people are going to be excited about it. This new program strengthens and solidifies the already powerful alliance we have with Crime Stoppers. And it's made up of three basic components that you'll see here on the screen behind you. I guess you want to step to the side a little bit. First, there's a website. It features unsolved crimes and presents pieces of the puzzle to the public by using suspect images, maps, videos, and last but not least, vehicles that continue to terrorize our community by drifting and drag racing. There we are. Second is a television program. It features Andrea Isom as a host. She sits down with families and victims and brings her story to life in an emotional and touching way. You can see those stories on Detroit Rewards TV website and on our city channels. The third component is a reward. Tips can be submitted anonymously on the Crime Stoppers website. Cash rewards range from $250 to $1,000. Depending on the severity of the crime. And it's important to note that these tips are paid out for information that moves a case forward, not just solved cases or an arrest. Before we hear from Chief White, I would like to show you a short video that highlights the immediate impact this can have on our community. Take a look.
We all have to answer for things we've done. We will find it.
As Chief White said, as a community, we have to get to a point where this bad behavior is unacceptable. And we as a community need to get to the point where we're not taking it anymore.
You should feel safe, inside your home, outside your home. That is what you deserve. And nobody, no neighborhood should accept anything less.
This is our time. This is our time to stand up and say, we are better than this. We are better than this.
Because when something happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. That is what it means to be one Detroit.
Don't be afraid to speak up, because at the end of the day, it starts with the city of Detroit.
This is Detroit Rewards TV. It's the city's newest tool to empower you to take back your streets. It's a website designed to fight crime right at your fingertips. So please keep calling 1-800-SPEAK-UP and tell them you saw it on Rewards TV. Yes, you can still remain anonymous. And yes, you will get cash for information that moves a case forward. But the greatest reward of all is your safety, your family's safety. And that is priceless.
All right, so that's one of our promo videos there with our host, Andrea Isom. And we really believe that this is going to empower our community to speak up. Now, without further ado, Chief White.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here. Again, this is about empowerment. I just want to take a moment to thank everybody who has made this possible. Dan DiBardino, certainly for your support of the department and getting criminals off the street. And also want to make sure that I thank Andrea Isom, your professionalism and your work in this project. It's well received. It's going to be powerful for our community. I want to make sure I thank the Mayor Mike Duggan, a few other people, Second Deputy Chief Rudy Harper, Tricia Stein, the Chief of Staff, our Communications Director, Vicki Thomas for the City of Detroit, and many others that have made this a reality for us. Again, this is a tool for our community. Crime is unacceptable, and we cannot create an environment where we're desensitized to crime. And this is just another tool in our partnership with our community to ensure that we have a safer community. Again, this is a great collaboration with Crime Stoppers. We want to make crime a risky proposition for criminals, and these types of tools will aid us in doing that. Community partnerships is certainly the foundation of the work that we do. We have had some success with crime numbers. We are not celebrating, as I often say, one robbery, one rape, one murder is one too many. Having 26 years in the Detroit Police Department and having to go to those hospitals and talk to those parents or see that mother, in agony and pain and literally suffering from a broken heart because they have lost someone that they love or a child is something that you cannot forget. Looking at our officers day in and day out, going out and responding to the crimes that they respond to, the one that comes to mind right away is the Christmas night murder of a teenage child and her mom, and then the subsequent search for the perpetrator. And it's my hope that we don't continuously have to do those things and people won't continuously make these horrific life choices. But the reality of it is that is likely not the case. And so I'm encouraged when I see these types of tools come to life and empowering our community to make this a safer place. Detroit's Rewards TV will give money and make doing the right thing to do. It's important that we know that, and that I state, that we're going to pay with Rewards TV for tips that move the case forward, not just an arrest. And I'm going to repeat that, for tips that move the case forward and not just an arrest. Again, we're looking forward to the collaboration, and I just want everyone to keep in mind our community deserves safety. Our community deserves to not worry constantly about their personal safety. For those who live, work, and play in this great city, this tool will help us. And we want to make criminals have to make business decisions because we're going to partner as a community against criminals, against those who victimize our community. And if you victimize our community, it is my commitment that you will get the full attention of this police department and our collaborative relationships, and we will do everything we can to relentlessly pursue you and bring you to justice. So at this time, I want to thank you again for all of you being here, and I'd like to bring up our newly appointed, recently retired commander who works very hard in our community, second deputy chief now, Kyra Hope, and I'm looking around for her. Here she is. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And just to our city, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for what you've already done. But it is time now to still get the job done. Our time is right now. We campaign, we walk the streets, we spread our information, we do it with kindness, we do it with love, but we need more of your help. Not just giving back, but getting involved. This is another tool, another way that we can have closure to these families. I talk daily to mothers who have lost their children. Maybe 2 hours, sometimes an hour. But any information that we can obtain so that we can have some case closures will bring them so much joy in their pain. We need to be one Detroit right now, and we need to say enough is enough. When I'm out there walking the streets, you all walk with me, and I'm inviting you again to please join us. Our time, One Detroit, right now, call 1-800 and speak up and give that information. Thank you.
You know, I have to say that I am just so humbled and honored to be a part of this mission, because that's what it is. It was 2004 when I became a TV news reporter in Detroit. And I love this city because there's so much good here. But it breaks my heart more than I can ever let you know to see the tears, the screams, the pain, as Chief White said, the sheer agony when people lose someone to violence. So Detroit Rewards TV is for them. It's for victims. It is for survivors. It is for every single person in the city of Detroit. It is time we do our part to take back our neighborhoods. Doing nothing is not an option. The partnerships we have are incredible, and they are monumental. And I want to say thank you to Crime Stoppers for getting on board with us. You always have been, but now we're just up in the ante because we have to. So thank you for being a part of this. This is a team effort. It is about safety, it's about justice, but it has to be up to all of us. We cannot do this alone, and the citizens of Detroit deserve our commitment. So I'm going to turn it over to Dan now with Crime Stoppers. Thank you so much, Dan.
Good morning. Crime Stoppers is extremely excited and proud to be part of this crime fighting initiative. We have been involved with it from the beginning, and we are just delighted that today it starts. And as everybody has just said this morning from the chief and everyone else, this is about us. This is about us doing the right thing. This is about us taking care of ourselves. This is about us doing it for each other. And Crime Stoppers encourages all of you, as we do every day, to please, if for any reason you don't want to make the call to the police department, you always have the option and the opportunity 24 hours a day to call 1-800-SPEAK-UP. And I can guarantee you, as president of Crime Stoppers, 3 things. A, your information will go to the right investigator to make sure that an action is taken. 2, that you will always remain anonymous. And 3, part of this program, if your tip moves a case forward, you will be paid for your time and for your efforts. I will tell you this, I was at a meeting yesterday, and the numbers that I was looking at indicated that we have taken in 87,000 tips in the 28 years that we have been here. Not one of those tipsters, not one, 87,000, has ever been identified. So please get on board and let's do it for each other. Thank you.
My name is Pastor Mo. I'm honored to be here. Thank the chief, Chief White. Thank Rudy, First Assistant Chief Edison, and all those who are partnered here at Crime Stoppers. The great Andrea Isom and her great voice is going to be such appreciated to narrate the story and to give us a good perspective on what is going on within the breadth of this new powerful city venture. I can tell that the mayor of the city and our new chief of police have been really having sleepless nights concerning themselves with not just city business, but the city people. And what you see here, what I'm seeing here, and what you see here is a response to the cry of the people. That's what a mayor and the chief and a first assistant chief and others supposed to be about, the ilk of the people. And this is a direct response to all the to things that our community are complaining and fearful of. When they don't have it's not about, and I said before, it's not about the whole snitching thing is out the door. We're talking about being citizens now. We're talking about being productive citizens, protecting our life, our possessions, and our peace. We have a right to that. And I want to change that narrative in Detroit. We're talking about us being protective of each other. You saw in that story, let me tell you what this is really about. And that story is a young lady in that story on that video. Go back on the website and you look it up and you watch it. The young lady on her name is Takika Allen. Okay, I got the phone call from her mother and auntie, Kitty, and I went out with them on at least 5 occasions. And we walked the streets where she was murdered. This is a young lady who was 18 years old, on a bike, exercising, going to nursing school, doing everything right, was an outstanding student, had just graduated, a joy to her mother, a helper in her home, helping her siblings. She had did everything right, just biking in our city, and her life was taken out but through crossfire. And that family don't want to hear about no snitching street rules. That family want to hear a tip. They want to hear information to have closure and want to know what happened to their child. And they have that right. And so what you have here is the people in city government who are responding to the hurt and pain, as Cara Hope said, as Andre Isom said, they were to the hurt and pain and the cries of the people, asking for just a tip. This is for all the people who have had cold cases, or who have had information saying, what's going on? I haven't heard anything. Well, they are responding and also incorporating the people to say, hey, you have value in your voice. We're gonna put value with that. We're gonna also help try to enrich your life and thank you for making our city safer. And by darn it, I am fully 100% behind it and push it. And my prayers are with this new venture that we make our city safer. May God bless us.
So again, we are One Detroit, and we're also one police department. I'd be remiss if I didn't introduce the remainder of my staff, starting with First Assistant Chief Todd Bettison, and if you all can just introduce yourself.
Deputy Chief Eric Hill. Deshaun Sims, Deputy Chief Western Operations. Assistant Chief Charles Fitzgerald.
All right, and with that, we'll take any questions.
Media members, please come over to the podium, state your name and your outlet to ask your question. Thank you.
Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2. Quick question. If someone does see a case on this site, when they do call Crime Stoppers, specifically what are they supposed to say when they call?
Dan, you want to come up and read it?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let him, Chief.
Hey, that's a good question. So on the website, when you go on it, and which an easy way to find it is just to Google Detroit Rewards TV. There's a button on there that submit a tip, and it goes directly to Crime Stoppers. There's also a drop down that has Detroit Rewards TV or Channel 21, and we ask people to click that also. And so, or you can call over the phone and say you saw it on Rewards TV website.
Thank you, Rudy.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
Bryce Huffman, Bridge Detroit here. First question, could you give a breakdown of the pay scale?
I can provide it to them.
Okay, you're going to send it to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Second question, I know you have a background in understanding mental health. How will this affect the way that you tell the victim stories?
I mean, certainly we want to be sensitive to all the victims. And, you know, there's an impact for the officers who investigate these cases. I talked about the one that happened on Christmas night. You know, to see officers, you know, get recalled on Christmas night, sitting with their families and coming in and seeing a disabled child shot in a home and her mother, you know, that was impactful. And you have to be cognizant of the impact that has towards the officers as well. We want to be sensitive to all our victims, and this is why this tool is so valuable, to shine light on the problem of not finding the person who's victimized these families. You know, it's very difficult, and it never gets easier when you're talking to someone who's lost a loved one. And all they want is closure, you know, because they can't ever bring their loved ones back. And to give them this extra tool to allow for that closure is very, very powerful. So we will always be sensitive to our victims, and we will also make sure that we keep in mind that, you know, all lives are impacted when someone loses someone that they love.
How are the rewards being funded, and how is the TV station and website being funded?
You want to? Yeah, go ahead. In the $20,000.
Yeah. That's a good question. So we are giving Crime Stoppers $20,000 initially for this program, and the rewards will be paid out from that.
All right. And then are other cities doing anything like this? How did you come up with the idea? What did you learn from other places that might be doing something similar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, we always try to look at best practices. I don't see anything like this, but that doesn't, you know, we're not going to stop trying to be innovative and use technology, use resources. And the foundation of our administration is community. This is a bridge to the community. And with regards to, what was your last question about?
And then just where did you get the idea? How did you kind of learn how to go about implementing it?
Well, collaboration with all the people that I've named. Crime Stoppers is already in existence, and I don't know if you remember many years ago there was a model called John's TV that was not quite this, but it shined light on problems in the community, and we were very successful with that. So this is just an adaptation of that model, but just towards crime, violent crime.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Hi, April Morton, CW50, CBS 62. Is this going to be done in a series of episodes? If so, how often are they going to air?
Yeah, it will be. Andrea, you want to come up and talk about that?
So yes, they will be a series of episodes. We will be doing a story a week in this that will be on Detroit's Rewards TV website. We will also be doing social media with shorter versions to push to the website and always reminding people of where they need to go. Obviously, always calling Crime Stoppers, 1-800-SPEAK-UP, and also going to the newest tool, as we've talked about today, Detroit Rewards TV. So it will be different forms of media, digital and on air and on the channels as a show to make sure people are always aware and always abreast of what's going on.
Chief, one more question for you. What's the detective's reaction? I mean, these folks can be fatigued. They got a lot of cases. How does this maybe help reinvigorate things a little bit?
Yeah, great question. I mean, we've got the hardest working detectives in the United States of America. I mean, they don't get a break, and they do amazing work. And so this is another tool for them. So they're encouraged and excited, the ones that I've talked to about it. Rudy's done some work with talking to, what do you need? What would you like to see? So any tips that they can get that helps them close these cases is amazing. One last comment about that. You may not know this, I'm sure you do, but a lot of people may not know this because you interact with our detectives quite a bit. They live these cases. This isn't a 9-to-5 or 8-to-4 job for them. They live these cases. They know these victims. Many of our detectives have, victims' files on their desk and looking for anything to bring closure. So any tool that you can provide them to help them do that is well received. All right. Thank you very much.
Just before we wrap up here, I just want to thank a couple more people who were involved. Eric Thomas, who works with the city, Gorn, Tamara, and a few members of the media relations team, Caraval, and Corporal Danikowski. So thank you for being here today.